Hello and welcome to episode 14 of Unemployed to Unstoppable. It might be time to move on due to lack of faith in the board and the selling of possibly our best player we've ever had at the club. We'll be looking for some jobs at the same time as giving you 2 games as we progress as far as we can into this season with Budafok, so stay tuned. And welcome back. So we might as well get straight into the bad bit of news. Everything was going all right in the league, and then Bertalan Boxai, who I'd quoted as being our best player, a bid came in from Damak in Saudi Arabia, and the board decided they were going to accept it because it was too good to refuse. There was nothing I could do about it. He's left us a massive hole in midfield. The transfer window's closed. I can't get anyone in to replace him, and we have lost what was our best player. He was the leading Division 1 player, and he was potentially a star Division 1 player, and he has just waltzed out the door. I mean, it's £800,000, but we can't spend it. We can't bring anyone in on it. And what that means in terms of the squad planner in midfield is we play with 3 midfield positions. Again, ignore the bottom 2 on them because they've just been bolstered from our youth system, but we've got 4 midfielders vying for 3 positions, so rotating them for fitness is becoming a bit of a nightmare. In terms of the form, we've been doing all right. Ollie Jurgens was scoring lots of goals pre-season. I think we won all the friendly games, and then he got injured for 6 weeks, so we've not had him for a while. We did, however, despite that, start the season relatively well. Since you were last with us and you saw the 1-1 draw with Kior, we've had 4 victories in a row, so 1-0 at Vasas with Corbu getting the goal, a 2-1 win at Casvada, Adam Pinter and Corbu again. We then had MTK 1-0, Adam Halmai, he got the goal, he's the one who's been playing up front in place of Jurgens. And then Ferencvaros, a fantastic result, they're standout favourites of the league. We came from a goal down to beat them 2-1, Halmai and Kasongvai with the goals in that game. And we then got a creditable draw against ZTE, Corbu getting the goal in a 1-1 draw. We then progressed in the cup 4-2 against Kazim Barkika, with Corbu getting 2 and Jurgens getting 2 on his return from injury. We did fall to a 2-1 defeat away at Fahava, Bensfei getting a late goal, but we were well and truly outplayed in that game. We recovered with a 2-0 win against Keksmeti, Simut and Yuhan Zahari getting the goals. And then just before we joined us today, we had a 0-0 draw with Ujpest. So what that's meant in terms of the league positions is we're up there on 18 points, 2 points off the top, but chasing that top 4 spots again, which is kind of our aim for the season. And I would have thought we would have been there or thereabouts if it hadn't been for the departure of Boxai. Have I thrown my teddies out of the cot? Possibly not. I'm a little bit cheesed off because of what it means for the squad and what it means for how we were progressing. It does leave us £110,000 to spend with a 6k per week wage budget, but I don't think we're going to be able to find somebody that kind of value until the free transfers at the end of the season. So coming up to January, I'm not sure we're going to get anyone in to replace him or bolster us. We're still on the lookout for a striker. We're now on the lookout for a centre midfielder. So what I have been doing is I've been looking at the job centre, and I've seen that there are some interesting jobs out there. So there's a couple in Bulgaria, one in the first league, one in the second league. I've not done anything with Chernomor, but I might declare some interest in there. But what I did do is I had a look at the Finnish Premier League. So there's a number of teams in there, HJK, Coops and VPS, that are all looking for new managers. So I went up there and had a look at what the stadium sizes were, and thought from gate receipts, HJK is actually probably one of the better clubs up there. So what I've done is I've declared interest in that job, and we'll see if anything comes of it. What I might do as well is to hedge our bets 50-50, is put some interest in the Chernomor job in Bulgaria and see if we get any nibbles coming back. Outside of that, we'll go through the next game. So we've got a home game in the league against Szeged, hopefully to keep up our challenge for a European spot. And then we've got a Ujpest game at home in the Hungarian Cup 4th round. So a bit of a league, bit of cup. See what we can do. Try and reinvigorate and get over the kind of demise, the misery from the departure of Boxai, because he was a standout, far and away the best player this club's ever had since we've been here. And for him to waltz out the door without us being able to say anything has made me question whether a Budafok long term is somewhere we want to stay or whether we should take a chance somewhere else. So stay tuned. I'll get through to the first game of the episode and we'll see if we can put some of this misery behind us and perhaps even find ourselves a new hero to latch on to. So stay tuned. Welcome back then. So starting lineup for today, I mean it's fairly settled side. There's only one change really. So got Santic in goals, back four of Bardos, Toth, Zahari and Simmet. We've got Toth coming in for Sexardi just for a little bit of a niggle he's got on the bench. Midfield three of Kazonka, Kazongvai and Vey. Again, we've got Kovacs there as the fourth one, but really missing box eye every time I look at the team sheet. I wish we could get him back, but never mind. And then a front three of Corbu, who's been a bit of a goal machine since he came. Pinter on the right for some game time. And then Jurgens is coming back in up top, who is good, but not consistent. Is probably the best way to put it. So all that being said, we'll get into the game and see if we can... so we've got a few youngsters. I've just put a couple of youngsters into the first team squad just to bolster the numbers. So 2 young midfielders and a reserve striker just to keep the squad size up at a relatively good value or good size to account for injuries and rotation. Certainly we'll use the cups for that as we get into the game at home against Szeged and see if we can make an immediate impact. So Pinter picking up the ball. He's been locked down early on. VAR looking at a possible red card, I think, here. Let's see what it comes up with. He's been told to look at the camera. And nothing. No red card. That's disappointing, isn't it? I thought we were going to be against 10 men for the whole game there. We might get some goals, but never mind. We'll press on. 50 minutes into the game, not really many chances here as Bardos gets a throw down the left-hand side into Corbu. And Corbu's been really good. He's probably our best player now since box size left. Vey down the right to Simmet. Back to Vey. He's getting some more game time now as the header goes over the bar. And I suppose it is an opportunity for Vey, who nearly left us in the summer, but he's hung around and he's now got his opportunity again as Bardos cuts it inside. Vey on the ball at the edge of the box, but he goes back to Zahari. Into Kasonka, working it down the right to Simmet again. Fed back into the middle for Vey. He's lost it, but Kasonka's picked it up again. Into Simmet down the right. Feeds it into Pinter, cuts it back to Jurgens. And he slots it in for a goal. So Mr. Inconsistent has got his name on the score sheet. It's a lovely little move. I mean, Simmet playing a bit of silky football, holding the ball up well. Feeds it through, a lovely one to Pinter, just breaking the offside trap. Cuts it across for Jurgens, and he can't really miss from that distance. Although I have seen him. It's true. So 25 minutes in, 1-0 up. I'd like to say we're putting the departure of Boxeye behind us, and it's going to be many episodes. Be prepared before I stop going on about it, or at least until we find another midfielder who is equally as good. So approaching half time, we've limited them in terms of their chances. We've only had one shot on target, which has fortunately gone in, and we make it to half time. So much the better side, playing for set pieces really. But we can definitely, if we get another goal, I think this puts it to bed. I think what you saw from the schedule at the start as well is we don't win games by many goals at the minute. I think we're still missing a top quality striker as they get a chance from the edge of the box. Good save from the keeper, but unfortunately they reacted first and managed to slam it into the back of an empty net. This comes out. Bardos initially clears it. Harris hits a shot from the edge of the box. It's a great first save, but it comes back to Stoev, who slams the ball home from a tight angle. So 1-1. Not ideal. We're going to have to find a way to... Let's demand a bit more. See if we can get these players fired up. Bit of a mixed reaction from them there. It's coming to the last half hour. Santic playing out from the back. Zahari to Simmet. Again, what we don't want to do is lose the ball in our own half and be open to the counter attack. Zahari now as well. I mean, we're trying to pick that pass out, but again, we've lost it, and leaving them an opportunity for a counter unless we can wing the ball back high up the pitch. But it doesn't look like we can. Oh, a couple little nicks in there. Corbu breaks forward into Kasonka. I thought it might have been a penalty there, but the ball broke to the edge of the box. Unfortunately, we weren't able to capitalise on it. little bit of encouragement. Everybody's head seems to be dropping a little bit. Corbu comes off for Arancibia for the last 10 minutes. Not really anyone to take off for Jurgens. Okay, we need to win the ball, but I mean that's a long hopeful ball. Simmet picks it up, but we need to make something of it. Vey into Kasongvai. Jurgens. It's that knowing look, isn't it? It's the knowing look. Jurgens. We just need him to hit the target more often. He's a good little player, gets some opportunities, but he misses more than he should. So 1-1. Not the best result in the world, but again, it's positive in terms of points tally. We should have won it on the number of chances created. Positives to take from the game is the point and the fact that Jurgens got on the score sheet. Got away without too many injuries. We just need to keep edging towards January, where we can bring in a reinforcement or two as we make a final push for them European spots, because what I don't want to see is a complete collapse towards the end of the season like we did last year. What I'll do is I'll click through, I'll get ready for the cup game. If anything happens in terms of the jobs we've shown some interest in, I'll come back and let you know. But until then, stay tuned. Welcome back for the home cup game against Budapest. Nothing really in terms of major changes to the first team. I think the only one is Sexardi's come in for Toth at the back. Outside that, the rest the same. So a quick run through. Sentic in goals. Back four, Bardos, Sexardi, Zahari and Simmet. Midfield three of Kasongvai, Kasonka and Vey. And then front three of Pinter, Corbu and Jurgens. Again, we've had a couple of players that are kind of on the peripheral. Arancibia, I think he'll get some more game time as we move forward. Pustai, the youngster who came through the youth system, he'll get a bit more game time. And we'll have to rotate Kovacs through at some point just to alleviate the pressure on the midfield as the workload for them goes up. Let's get into the game. Always pleasing to see some positive faces from when we first arrived at the club. I've not seen anything yet come through about the jobs we showed some interest in. Hopefully there'll be something within the next week or so after the game. What I'll do is after this match is finished, I'll click through a couple, see if anything comes up. If it does, I'll include it within this episode. If not, we'll just have to wait till the next time round. Budapest get a breakthrough really early in the game, 4 minutes in. Couple touches on the edge of the box. I mean, scandalous defending there. I mean, he's got his arm up looking for offside. No one really reacts. Everyone sits deep. And you've got a player at the back post there completely unmarked. And that is not good to see from a defensive point of view. But we'll see if we can recover from this. I think what we will need is definitely some encouragement. But again, I think Boxai was our creative player. With him being gone, we're lacking something. We're lacking that little bit of creativity in there. Don't get me wrong, Kasongvai, Kasonka, Vey, all good players, but they're not the creative monster that Boxai was. And we're going to need to find someone in to replace that as Corbu gets a chance, but it's quickly broken down. Into Vey and Pinter down the right hand side, Simmet breaking from the back into Kasonga. Pinter picks it up and he cuts it in from a tight angle there. Looked like it might have been a penalty at the first glance, but good advantage played. So Pinter played it through to Simmet on the right hand side. Cuts it back into Kasonka. That's where I thought we might have got a penalty. Pinter picked it up though and outside the left foot puts it in at the far side netting and keeps us back in the tie. So the cup dream is still alive. Not won anything like that yet. I mean, we did get the promotion, which I know it's not a trophy, but it's still like winning something. Corbu not having a great game down the left hand side. We might have to make his Arancibia bring him on. Sexardi bringing out from the back then, and Zahari, who's been one of the better signings as well at centre half. Kasonka back to Sexardi. Kasongvai, patient build-up players. Bardos comes down the left hand side. Corbu over the top to Jurgens. I thought he'd hit it first time, but he didn't. Corbu lays it to Pinter, and is that a penalty? I think it is. Chance to go 2-1 up then. Up comes Vey, and he slams it into the back of the net. So Vey trying to put his stamp on that midfield position as he's taken over from Boxai following the departure. Let's watch it again. Drives it left. Keeper nearly gets it, but it's right in the side net, and there's not really much chance of you saving those. So coming into half-time, we've managed to turn around the deficit from 1-0 to a 2-1. Hopefully keep our name in the hat for the next round. Looking at maybe a couple changes. I think we've dominated possession, but what I think I might do is bring Corbu off as he's not having a particularly effective game down that left-hand side. And we'll get Arancibia on. See if he can spark some creativity down that left-hand side. As for the rest of them, not playing too bad. I know Bardos is on a 6.5 or 6.6 now, but it's probably due to the yellow card. Because within the highlights we did see him doing a couple of little positive moves. Into the hour mark then. Not many chances since the break, but players are playing a little bit better. Simmer being suggested for a substitution for a yellow card. I never really see why. What's the point? Because he's always going to be on a yellow card at whatever game he plays. So you might as well just let him play till he gets it and then rotate him out for the match he's suspended for. Zahari brings it forward to Kasonka, but it's been picked off. Ujpest now on the ball with a chance to break up the other way. I mean, you really need to shut him down there. He's let him go past him. Ball goes into the box. And we've given away a penalty. So, I mean, I think it was a bit of a soft touch, that one. Marshall steps up. Good save by Sentic. Tips it around the post. Keeps us 2-1 up. I'm gonna ignore that Simmet one. Ball comes in from the corner. And again, it gets put round the post. Vey for Kovacs, and this is where the problems come in with box eye going, because I now can't change Kasonka for Zagedi. I mean, I'm going to have to really to bring the young lad on just to save Kasonka moving forward, because we can't afford all our midfielders to get short of fitness or injured at the same time. As Pinter has the ball around the edge of the box, Kasongva into Kasonka, it's really tight in the middle. Arancibia plays over the top to Pinter. Oh, and it's right across the goal line there. Any touch and we would have been 3-1 up, and I think the game would have been over. So we break into the final 10 minutes. Pinter for Halmeyers, another change. 3 minutes to go, and we can get our name in the next round of the Cup. I think it might be the first time we get to the 5th round. Normally we don't pay too much to the Cup because it's more all about the league form, but we've done it. It's not been pretty. It's not been a glamour tie. You could argue Ujpest had the better of the possession and the chances, but I mean, we dominated the possession. We didn't really make much in terms of chances, but the important thing is the result. Nice work, everybody. A name goes into the hat. We'll have a quick look at who we've got in the next round. If it's going to come up straight away. We'll just have a quick click through. We'll click through one game and see if we can see what the draw is. Yeah, so draw for the 5th round. We'll just have a quick look, see who we get. Draw teams away at Moore, so not even a first division or a second division team, so that is a favourable draw, and maybe this is the year Budafok can make a run to the Cup. And again, it throws that question in, do we stop at Budafok for the end of the season and see if we can have a chance at winning a trophy if we're still in the Cup, or do we wait and see if we get any kind of offers come through from the other clubs? That's what we'll be looking at the next episode. Hopefully you've enjoyed what you've seen. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with what we're doing, and click on the little bell to make sure you get notified whenever a new video comes out. Once again, thanks for watching. It's been a massively good and enjoyable season so far. I'm looking for either the rest of this season as a challenger Budafok or whatever opportunity comes next. So once again, let me know in the comments how you think we're doing. If you would have done things differently, I'll read through them and then we'll discuss it when I see you next time. Take care.